And why not go for that if you're second?
At this point, he's feeling himself.
Yeah, just a little bit of confidence. Flickless, unfortunately, peaks into two Sen players who've taken full A main control.
Oh, God!
Spike down A.
Well, Cloud gets onto A. Unfortunately, it's in a body bag and narrates. Slots in 4 to kick off Sentinel's campaign here in Paris. And a slow start, conservative. Looks like they really wanted to get their bearings early on Corrode, and then a perfect defense side to lock up the first map, 13-6.
That is an energizing open for the Sen City, who last we saw took a pretty tough loss in that lower bracket in Americas. They're bouncing right back.
Oh, gotta watch out there. It's a pretty NA biased test, but we're gonna go over and see what Yinsu and our experts have to say to break down this first map.
We'll work on it. We'll work on it. Listen, in line of me going to the other side and that huddle, I think we're winning the game. This guy's like, ooh, ooh, ooh. I actually can't. Jordan's just on Giant X, and I'm like, wow. hey, we're going on Reddit one way or another. Don't care.
Esports World Cup, where we are starting off with VALORANT.
If you want to win, you have to win against the best.
So looking for revenge.
There's the shorty, and Alpha goes crazy!
They've all battled through the pressure and expectation. Heretics have come back all the way! Finally we won, finally!
Red Bull gives you wings.
Meneer, ik heb een gekreukeld servetje, kijk. Wie heeft deze burger gemaakt? Super nice. Oh, maar zo lief.
Sorry, mag ik even douchen?
Natuurlijk, het is daar.
Oh, man. Ruik naar luxe parfum met de nieuwe Axe Fine Fragrance Collection.
Nu 12 maanden 50% korting op Ziggo Internet en TV. Want het zijn volop voordeelweken
Bij Vodafone.
en Ziggo. Ook zijn er deals voor ondernemers.
En combineer je Vodafone
En Ziggo Internet, dan krijg je volop extra voordeel. Stap dus snel over op ziggo.nl of ga naar de winkel.
Breek er lekker uit. Met de nieuwe Breaker drink yoghurt mango banaan.
Dag meneer! Kijk, op zo'n moment ben je blij dat je voor de glasvezel-experts van Delta hebt gekozen.
We sluiten je aan op het snelste glasvezel-internet.
En met onze nieuwste generatie wifi 7 router werken al je apparaten maximaal.
Zo kan jij blijven gaan voor je highscore.
Jij denkt aan je highscore, wij aan de nieuwe wifi 7. Delta, aan alles gedacht.
here standing with Kaplan from Sentinels. Now, I know you guys didn't exactly end Stage 2 in NA the way you wanted to, but now we're feeling this renewed energy from Sentinels. Is it a new story here, and are they feeling all that energy because this is a global, this is a fresh new start for them?
Plenty of it is thanks to a global, thanks to champs. We're pumped, but it's also deliberate from the guys. You know, we walked away realizing our energy is a problem. We can be incredible if we choose to be, and they're choosing to be today.
And Hubert looking very healthy, very happy so far.
Yeah, I think he's lost a little weight. I might have to feed him some baguette. You know, gets a little hungry, but we'll see.
We'll see. To be continued. All right, thanks, Cap.
Thank you.
It's so nice to see Kaplan smile, but also welcome Cuba to the desk. How are we doing, Cuba?
I'm scared I'm going to knock him over and he'll have a tragic
Cuba, you want to
fall,
say anything?
Yeah.
No.
Base.
Not a man of many words.
No? Yeah, I mean, he's just sitting there looking pretty. It works. That's
He does.
his shtick.
I love the little Cuba. Mini Cuba is very, very cute. I also love the way the Sentinels were playing on Corrode. And speaking of, it's time for our Verizon high-speed moment. This one goes to John QT on the pistol round. I mean, this should have been, GX should have managed to close it out in a 5v3, surely.
Yeah, and this is coming in at a 6-6-F. It was close, and then John QT does this in a 5v3. They're down numbers after losing those early members, and he just crushes them. Like,
and I think we often talk about how pivotal pistols are in halves, given that we play MR12. Like, this is a nightmare. Start for GX to go that way in that pistol, and then obviously things continue to go off for them. Bang.
What a smoke.
Yeah, the smoke was perfect. It was essentially unwinnable for Westside there. I don't know how we could have played that any differently.
Honestly, after that 3K, I think everything Sen did in the rest of that round was perfect. You know, there's no fault. And I almost feel like I love his angle. Oh, he's so cute. I love Cuba.
The voices are telling me to punch him right now.
No, he's been through enough. He's just a little guy. He's been through enough. Leave him alone.
I didn't say I was going to do it.
Leave him alone.
I won't let this man hurt you.
Good.
I won't let this man hurt you.
Good, because I think you have to go through Doug and apparently Zekken if you want to get to Sen. Because
I'm not going to mess with Zekken.
No, and Doug, I don't think any of the GX players were messing with Zekken either, really.
No, and I will say this, Aura held up to him at the very beginning. I think he looked great, he looked competitive, but there were just so many situations where Zekken should not have been converting some of the multi-kills that he had. You think about the Bisult mid in the first half where he walks away with 2-3 kills with the Classic, and then you think about all the ult kills he was getting as well, and obviously the ult is a little bit different, but Zekken played with confidence, he played decisively, and I think it's exactly what Sentinels needed.
And I think it was a big difference in those brawls, right? The big team fights there, 3-on-3s, 4-on-4s, when Zekken's on the front. He was just crushing on that front. And I think to R's credit, I think on the other side, I think when he was finding rounds where Sentinels were walking into him, he could actually find picks with the operator, but more often than not, he was being forced into a retake save, or Sentinels were seeing him and pivoting away and not letting him play.
Yeah, 6 out of 20 of his kills was his ult, by the way. That's insane. Absolutely love that from Zekken, but I want to hear what Coach Pipson had to say ahead of Map 2.
Mika here once again, and I'm here right now with Pipson of Giant X. Now, that was a tough loss on the first map, but as I understand it, it's not exactly news for Giant X, and EMEA fans would know that map 1 loss is quite common, and usually this is because you guys need a little bit of time to iron things out. Sometimes it can be a comms issue that they get a little muddled, so I'm curious, was this the case in map 1 against Sentinels, or was it something else?
Oh yeah, it's definitely similar things to what happened to us in EMEA. So we talked right now. I hope that it will be the same like it was in EMEA, and second and third map will be much better than the first one was, and we are going to end up winning.
Well, good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
It's so nice to hear from Pipson on the global stage, but he is right. For those of you that don't know, GX have had this big issue all year, which is looking terrible on map 1, throwing 5v3s, 5v2s, 5v1 one time as well. And then map 2, they miraculously look amazing, and then they end up winning the series.
Is there like a real thing that changes, or is it just the map 2 glow up?
No, it's, I mean, you even heard it there from Pipson saying it's the same issues. They tend to over-communicate on map 1. They're very excited. They have too much energy, and there's no one sort of getting on top of saying, guys, calm down, relax, which is funny because we know Grubby doesn't talk much, so probably just the other 4 screaming over each other a little bit. So I think now they've tasted what the stage is like, they can relax a little bit, they're going on to their map pick, and I am a big fan of their Sunset. I would love to know why they changed their comp on Corrode as well, but I don't anticipate them changing that much on Sunset. Yeah, you don't need to.
Yeah, you want to keep them playing the breach and whatnot. I honestly think like part of it might just be that when you're coming in, and again, there is so much footage going against you and knowing there's going to be a lot of anti, like coming in with a different idea. I think a lot of teams will usually try to do this to just not be so readable coming into the event, but clearly Sentinels on their comfort zone of Corrode, that wasn't going to be a help for them.
And I'm curious to see, if there are any changes, since you mentioned that you want them to kind of keep it to their standard.
This is what I wanted to see.
The Neon, Breach, Sentinels are going to be running a bit of the same, and so a lot of this then goes to me around how are you going to layer some of that utility. We're going to see B main traps, we're going to see A main traps, particularly on the defensive side. I think this lends into some of that chaos into that you were talking about prior to the series starting, where this does kind of favor Giants a bit.
Yeah, it does indeed, but we're still talking about Sen, right, at the end of the day. And if you look at it on the other side, this is almost best in slot. They're so comfortable.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. And again, to me, my eyes just keep heading towards Zekin, because I think he plays such an active game on the Neon, obviously on the attack side too, but you have to be very worried for what he does in mid, especially on the defensive side. Giant X need to be able to shut him down on those walks to tiles or the boosts up just on that mid ledge on the right side.
Yeah, and I know Grubby didn't have the best start on map 1, but he is an absolute menace on the defense sometimes here. His paranoia timings are fantastic. He's not afraid to get aggressive as well. I'm sure Sen's going to know this, so I'm looking forward to seeing how they're going to be able to abuse this as well, because Sen, Uber and Y on the verge of starting their champs run with a 2-0.
I'm sure Yinsu, they'll be very pleased with that. But, yeah, we're aware of the narrative of, GX struggling a little bit at the start of these series, although if you watch the Fnatic game, you wouldn't be aware of it. Sentinels, however, going to a map like Sunset, which, by the way, obviously great map for GX. It's probably their home map. They look excellent here. We kind of thought Sentinels would too this year, right? In 2024, this was absolutely one of their go-tos. It looked fantastic, and it made its way back into the map pool when Toronto kicked off. And we did not see that same level from Sentinels here on Sunset, and since then, they've not really made it their own yet, I feel.
Yeah, they've been very mixed in terms of the results here. GX, however, have not been mixed. They've only lost this map twice, both times to Liquid,
right? Yeah.
And outside of that, they have 5 wins on it. This is absolutely their best look. We're getting Westside on that Cypher where he thrives right now on the B anchor. A lot of damage through onto Bang. Gonna need some support. Going to need a flood.
I think they know where Westside is right now. And look at this. They've inserted Zekin onto the site. The rest of Sentinels have actually pulled out. Zekin might have an opportunity here to really ruffle some feathers. But it all really remains to be seen on what the landscape looks like as this dark cover clears. He'll stay tucked in. Re-smoked to be main, and Cloud diligently is looking to clear this corner very carefully, but Zekin is not looking towards his left at all, just kind of hedges on the right side. However, Grabinho flattened it A, run over by Sentinels, who now can accelerate into the site and start to set up for a post-1.
Unfortunate that GX lose a player immediately after that. Was some nice awareness from Cloud to pick off Zekin, the initial first kill. Zelsis ready to flash, maybe to fight towards spawn, but no, Sen going to call that off.
Because of the one-way, likely.
He's just playing right now with that fault line towards Link when GX try to get back in here. They do have a good amount of breach util of their own to do so.
Zelsis still holding onto it. Veins starting to emerge on his forehead now. Patience, patience, and release. It's onto the site now. Ara the only player in, though, and it's staggering. The spacing of players has really thrown Sen for a loop. The narrates some sharp shooting. It's just not remotely enough. And in a 4v4 retake, GX looks sharp.
GX are really fantastic at playing around their breach utility on this map. This is still the map in the pool where breach is very much so relevant. It's the only map in the pool where breach actually has a above 50% win rate against non-breach comps. So it makes sense that both teams are playing it here.
Good up, Ara, nice.
Zelsis swings from that box on A side, expecting there to be more players behind Ara. But actually GX slow things down. Ara goes ahead, and they've still got 2 players tucked on Link, who later emerge, and the timing completely throws them off. Also, Ara just knocks heads together on the site. 3 kills for him.
It's a map, by the way, if you haven't seen Sen for a bit, where John is back to playing the Cypher, just straight up one-to-one swapping with Zelsis, who's now picking up that initiator, playing the breach. This is something that Sen have opted for since Toronto, going back to John's old role where he had so much success in 2024.
Oh, okay, and a rare miss from Ara there. Actually allows for some of the mid-control to be assumed by Sentinels. They are, of course, on nothing but the classics.
Yeah, you certainly don't want to make any investment after losing the pistol when you know you're going up against Aura on defense. 100% of the time he's going to have the
full
outlaw.
armor.
Yeah, you need the full armor every single time you're going into that initial buy round.
Flickless here inside the site. This is awkward. Very awkward. Flickless able to get through though. Zekin for a moment. Thinking to remain towards top mid, but now it's going to be a large flood across here into market. West side not able to find anyone. Some damage on Delson, but the looks of things, and Zekin takes the fight to him like a bat out of hell. It ends up being a trade of backside. West side for one, but John gets in there with the classic. Flickless overwhelmed. Sentinels running in numbers. And Acrobino with the Bulldog has to salvage the situation.
Cloud only has the Ghost right now. Probably can't recover. A gun goes in. Zelsa's just
not
ready
good
for that.
Here's Grubby though.
Yes.
A little more than a one.
Nice.
Much needed, and Sentinels on nothing but classics. Once again, shilling the bundle. Get that top mid control and go market very quick.
The GX players just not synced up at all here. Aura is caught in alone. Westside spent a bunch of time just spamming through that cage that was thrown in market to send him across the site. So he's a little bit late to getting in to actually help Aura, who fully commits, stays, tries to kill Zekin on the slide.
For no reason. I didn't even yell at them. I didn't even.
And from there, I mean, GX, they just really mistime their players coming into Flood and assist. They're essentially all isolated in ones.
I don't hate this position from Cloud. It's so dirty. Zekin walks up into it. And so GX will take their pint of blood early in the round. Nicely done by Westside.
Stunning shot.
And this is GX for you. So active in these early rounds. So proactive. Looking to work the map. Push up for info. Take risks. And it's given them the edge. Even if not the rifle drop there in B main.
Now Westside hears all of these players running forward. Catches one with the cam. GX are trying to be fast on this rotate. And Celsius isolated. That relay bolt forced Narrate back or he would have been caught.
Frustrating for Celsius. He certainly would have felt stranded there. As the rest of Sentinels pulled the plug. Now have to try and work the map with only 2 players up. Narrate considering a double back here. Someone who's been very vocal, Wyatt, in saying that when he can contribute more to the ideas of this team, he feels like the game goes better, but he struggles when he's not performing well to have that voice.
Aura takes this contact. But that haunt ensures that Westside's position, I think, will be revealed. I couldn't tell actually if he broke that, if it was Flickless. Regardless, Sen do not want to get into that B site. They know there are multiple players there. Yeah, but what options do they have?
They've had no mid control at all, and Gravino is able to scope up in time to deal with John. And simply, he will pull back now towards the middle of the map. Oh, nice little angle there held by Gravino. A fantastic thrifty from GX. And again, Sentinels try the same thing, burst the pace onto that B site, but very heavily disrupted by the breach util of Flickless.
They're able to, I think, throw the guns around at the very end there too. Maybe get Flickless one, I couldn't tell. They were trying their best to recover all the weapons though. That was a great relay bolt from Aura, who was getting into assist Westside so fast on that rotate.
Can't blame the guy for being pleased about that. It feels like it's so hard to get bored.
Give it back to Zelsis a little bit. He stood up for their ego.
But he didn't know what to say, really, did he? He just sort of stood up. Gravino, wow, they're having problems standing on their feet right now, Sentinels. Cut down aggressively. Gravino's able to push up here, and Flickless can only go 1 for 1. Still, the Sentinels committing all of the remaining resources to that elbow part of the map. It'll leave Zelsis limping away with the recovered Phantom and 8 in the chamber.
Nice shot from Cloud. Very quick with that reaction. Sen just go for the NA Stinger Rush, but GX a little bit too stacked up towards elbow with the much better weaponry. They make light work of that.
That's how it looked off the rip. The ping is very good. It's a freebie for Gravino. Shoot the dart, boys.
No one ready for that one.
Card navigates all of that util pretty effectively.
Yo, shield down, sit down.
What was the first one? Shield down?
No, a little sit
Shield
down.
Shield down.
A little sit down. Sen, all right, well, we're getting into mid pretty quick. R's been able to pick up that operator quite early. And the buy for Sen honestly isn't great because they committed a fair amount into that Stinger round. They didn't get kills. They didn't, only a couple. They don't get the plant, obviously. So the armor, not ideal. Bang with just the Guardian.
And on Corrode, as soon as they knew that Ara had an operator, they stopped playing his parts of the map. They avoided him entirely. This time, no, not the case. They've got the Neon, of course, who can take this space aggressively, but Ara's going to repost up on this corner and might have a timing.
And the danger is where you know Ara's in a location, you want to go elsewhere, and then you're running into the site that Westside is anchoring, and that is where he's at his absolute best, especially when he's playing Cypher.
They do have the option, of course, to try and play top mid, pull the rotation through, and all this get gunned down, apparently, by GX. Man, that's going to lock Sentinels out of the round. It feels very hard to bounce back from that. What, are you going to go back to the side that Ara still posted up on?
Very cool from GX that they pivot into that high-low setup mid after assuming that Sen will be rotating away from A. Ara's reposted up towards elbow, so then they're ready to just gun them down midway through their rotate. They read the situation well, and they, you know, as a team will always do something proactive around that on defense, even if it is just setting up, you know, a high-low open face like that to get the man advantage.
I'm always really impressed by the sheer number of different set plays that GX can put together on defense. It feels like they've always got something. Like Pipson has them drilled to a T. But this team, right, who in this form we've only seen since, what, the end of stage one? Who, what, they won one game of kickoff? What, one game in stage one? Now they're at champs?
Yeah, they were 7th, 8th kickoff, finished 9th, 10th stage one, and now they're at champs. And that is also a testament to the impact of bringing in Ara and Flickless right at the end of that first stage. So they make away with 3 rifles, saving on that prior round. Invested so heavily into this one, of course. They have that Nightfall to play around from Narrate, and they're just but one orb away from getting that Rolling Thunder for Zelsis.
Okay, that was a TP across tiles by the looks of things by Bang. A smoke top mid here. This is already drawing that potential high-low setup across for GX, leaving A pretty lightly held.
But they're okay with that. It's Ara with the operator posted up. He's getting all of that information just by existing there.
Safe pair of hands for sure.
This drone heading into mid is going to at least spot out Zekin. These dark covers are going to need to be cycled yet again from Bang up towards top so Sen can safely maneuver around this area of the map.
That's the second one being used, of course. To be able to use a third should be required.
Now it looks like Sen at some point, do they just want to see if someone is over towards A? Are they going to make noise and then try to pivot back into a B split? I don't think they really made any noise towards A just yet.
I think Zelsis wants to probably find a fault line opportunity when it comes back available, but Zach is going to go straight into market anyway. He sees the trip, clears it.
No, he gets killed. Wow. Sen are trying to pivot into some kind of crazy A split right now. A smoke is placed top left mid for Zelsis to maneuver in. Ara still has this operator not spotted out.
Dangerous there, very dangerous, but Bang goes for a diligent little shoulder peek. Ara, those asking for more, and there's no opportunity to trade it back. Flickless may have fallen. That's a breach util gone, but most of it was already expended to the favor of GX now. We've got 12 seconds left in the round. Sentinels accelerating here. My goodness. Threatening to break the sound barriers. They hit that A side, and all of GX get drawn out into the town square.
What an insane execute from Sen. That's a crazy pivot back towards A. Making it seem like they were going to go through market, then they smoke top mid for Zelsis to kind of re-flank up top while they're going through main. That was madness.
Ara's set up here ends up being what? The trade is the play here from Link. Narrate has his crosshair set already for that emergence out of elbow, and Sen just send it. They got no other choice. John is...
Wow, he went crazy.
Yeah, he's disgusting in some of those moments. I think the pistol three-piece as well back on Corrode. Another moment memorable.
Yeah, he's had some insane individual plays so far today.
Cloud did not look pleased with how that round went.
I cannot believe that they won that out. Because Zekin goes down immediately in market as well.
On Sunset right now, it feels like GX kind of locked down the entire map. They've got really good setup there in market. It catches out Zekin. Ara's posted up on the A side of the map. Pretty reluctant, I think you are, to push into that kind of setup. Especially when, you might have a Prowler available to you or something like that. Seems like Sentinels just took that situation in their own hands. Raw gunplay on that A side allowed them to open it up. But that's not something that's replicable, right? That's not exactly a core strategy or heuristic that you're going to lean on over the course of this attack side. Sentinels need to make use of this timeout, which they've called.
Yeah, and to that point, yeah, it's Kaplan calling the timeout despite getting that round win. It did kind of feel like a Hail Mary that they just threw to win that one out.
I mean, that is very much just trying to make the most of what you have left. Bringing the lemonade recipe out here to Paris, I guess. But again, tough to replicate rounds like that.
Now, we've seen from GX, when they have a Hunter's Fury, they often like to send it into spawn just like this. Aura will push down Grabinho through mid. This is something that Sen need to be prepared for. It's a play that they like to activate that they've used in EMEA.
Zelsa's got battered there by the Hunter's Fury, and Grabinho winning in tiles is huge. It means that GX don't have to worry about
the spike is down in that corner. Center getting sold out by the dark cover, Paranoia going through, Aura in an isolated 1v1 though.
They have the Rolling Thunder to get A-main control back. That is absurd. A counter one comes out though. Flickless lets it go, but it's Grabinho who eventually falls by the wayside. Sentinels have not got off the starter's mark in this round, and Zekin's not there to double up. Now trying to at least play off this aftershock. Zelsa's got his, and it all falls apart. Talk about a team who likes to be assertive on the defense side. GX, more than most.
That is a classic GX play right there.
Keep them coming, baby.
They love to use an aggressive early ult. This is an exact round out of their playbook that we saw them use to win a round against Fnatic, for instance, in their matchup in the playoffs. This is what they excel at. Their strat book on Sunset is absolutely as dense as it gets.
And Sentinels have definitely seen that. Kaplan has definitely seen that. It didn't really seem to prepare them for it either way. What a nice look there for GX. Here's a fault line that'll force Cloud off the line, and in theory allow the cross back for Grabinho. Finds a perfect window to punish Narrate. And again, early in the round, Sen have been knocked down to 4.
It's good to see Grabinho really getting into the game here on map 2. I don't think that Corrode performance in any way is representative of the normal level of play that he is offering to this GX team. And he's starting to come to life here when they desperately need him to stay in this series.
The buy here for Sentinels is tragic. They want to try and work the map a little bit, but they've got nothing done over at the B side. Ara is there with the op. They've sort of sniffed that out, I feel.
Grabinho is still just posted up on this dark cover angle and knows he needs to get the hell out of here with his overdrive on the way.
Is he TPing? Yes, he gets out just in time, but he TPing into the relay bolt. Flickless though, sharp shooting, gets himself set up. Backside. And crucially, Bank's still in play, so need a smoke to come back online for him as 30 seconds are left in the round to probably cover up, that spot in spawn. But Ara has had time to get here with the op. John, he sprays through smoke. Realizes Flickless is there for the taking, and Bang maybe doesn't know the lay of the land before he TPs in like that. Another 3 for John, but not enough for Sentinels. That's the 6th round to hand for Giant X.
How dangerous was that, though? The spam to the smoke from John was crazy. He is on one right now.
That is a very insightful shoulder peek for Grabinho.
This just never should have been that close. 4 on 2, he gets the 2K just spraying the smoke. All right.
Hey, you got to be feeling good here. Tough first map. Much improved on Sunset. We're going to thrust down mid again. They're going for it. Ara tears that to shreds. Sentinels barely get out of bed before getting clotheslined. Ara finally taken down, but once Sen cannot get 10 seconds into the round with 5 players wide. They just can't do it.
This is just another play out of the GX strat book that we've seen from them before, and no team seems to know how to stop them. It's just the combination of their initiator util, the push down mid, a push through B main. There's a fault line that comes through B main that canvases all of bottom mid for Aura to fight. And then there's that recon up top. It's just, they run the same plays and it just keeps on working.
And here's a neural theft for John. Sees all of this at top mid.
The second baited into that swing, and I mean, why not? Cloud was right there using that drone, obviously. It's just good that he had support from Flickless for that instant trade.
Zekin doubled his entire kill total in that round, Wyatt. He had a quiet outing up until this point. John has been making plenty of noise. This timing is going to hurt them, though! Tell you what, that's value for ammo, isn't it? Flickless exits around with 3. GX, 5-round lead. These guys really lock the map down.
This is just where they're at their best. It feels like even if you prep for the rounds like this that are going to be thrown at you, it just doesn't even matter.
Dude, the util comes in perfectly for Ara.
This is just what they are best at. Look at how all of that util is placed on the map so perfectly. And it's that fault line that comes from B main that just gets the entirety of bottom mid into lower tiles, which is even covered with a dark cover. So Aura doesn't need to focus on the left. He can just fight right.
It's all set up for him.
Good.
And in situations where we've seen GX, go for similar plays, or if Ara notices that he's a little bit ahead of this util, he will slow down. Like, this is so well drilled from this GX team. They set Ara up for success so often. And this is a hand wringer for Kaplan.
This is stuff that Sen, I think, are expecting. They absolutely should be. They knew Sunset would be in this pool. They're not going to ever take it out, and it's always going to be picked by GX. So they've seen them run this stuff. They know it's going to come eventually, but it's another thing to actually have to deal with it in the moment.
I guarantee you, both coaches knew the exact 3 maps that would get played in this series when they came in.
Yeah,
I think
their map pools just have so much overlap.
Yeah. But these teams definitely behaved as you would expect when it came to the veto. So now Sentinels have to generate some momentum here. GX are locking them out of the map, and they're not doing it passively either. They are assertive, they are proactive, and they're more than happy to get into the face of America's number 3 seed.
Now Aura's picked up this Outlaw, knowing that everyone on Sentinels is just going to be on the light armor. He'll be controlling that B main side, and the rest of GX on account of that can really put the emphasis on stacking A together.
Gravino here is going to be forced back, timing not quite on his side, but the paranoia came out enough to act as a relief valve. Flickless might try and work this angle with him. Not affected by the C's, but sprayed down as those bullets were intended for Gravino.
That was very, very dangerous for Flickless. He was getting stalled up by those bullet tags, slow movement. Whoa, this is crazy from Aura. He's all the way out of B main, holding the exit. So,
okay.
I mean, GX, they know where Sen are hitting. They know that they're going A.
I mean, this is just breaking conditioning for Sentinels, who probably just aren't used to being in some of these positions. Ara, in no hurry to push off that. Full trust in the rest of GX to lock this A side of the map down, but it's where push comes to shove. Zekin gets onto the side behind the box, but the aftershock came through, and Cloud swings for the fences. 2 kills cleaned up, now Ara decides to get a little active, catches Zelsis out. Timing certainly works in his favor, and Westside will step in when needed. Flawless round and so many metrics there for GX. Untouchable on this defense side.
Yeah, they really do a lovely job of just fighting together on the site when the hit comes in. And Second getting stalled up in the back box. That was essential for the win there. And obviously Aura just getting the entirety of the map controlled by that Outlaw, flanking out a B main and holding their exit. Yeah, that was somewhat important too. Just a comprehensively great round from GX, who are running away with their pick.
Yeah. And Sentinels are struggling to adapt why they've not found a gear that suits them against GX.
And Aura has actually kept this Outlaw, does have a few 125 HP targets.
Zekin and John, though, they're the ones with armor. So John can have some confidence pushing into this.
Much faster from Sen. They're going for that 3-pong sight exec, splitting from multiple sides.
Now, how do they deal with the anchors, though? Westside's going to be dug in here, but Narrate steps up with a Guardian. They know, yep, Prowler confirms. Westside in the corner and only gets his one. Stinger goes to work for John. And a Nightfall now to catch the players rotate in. 2 pings at Boba. Tells the whole story for Sentinels.
This is a pace adjustment from Sen that GX were not expecting. Ooh. Crucial win from Gravino.
Ugly stuff with a Stinger, but util in hand for when Narrate steps up to the plate. And now it's on Cloud and Flinkless to make their way through a smoked out Boba. Money, damn good for GX, and it might be worth going for it, but they are caught off the site. Cloud wants to wrap around, has a lot to say across the stage so far this game. He'd love now to show some bite with the bark wide. Nice swing. And second down. Narrate steps up and Cloud might just be him right now. Bang is all over the place and Flinkless.
Maar waarom speel je het niet gewoon via main? Speel het gewoon via main, ze hebben geen smokes meer.
Retake.
Wat wil je doen?
GX. It's Cloud just able to isolate. He gets that 1v1 against Zekin, ready for the swing from Narrate next.
Fate had Util sowieso kunnen gebruiken. En sowieso kunnen wachten. Totdat ze die spikes aan de diffusen. En dan meteen dat ding gewoon gooien.
It's crazy. The desk touched on it. By far the most experienced player on GX. 5 years of play and is yet only 21 years old. And has to be the leader of this team. And I love that we're seeing him give it back to Sen.
Yeah. Oh, is he indicating we won a 2v3 against you, I think?
Like Zelsis stood up after they won round 2. And since then, Cloud has just been giving it to him.
It's a 7-round gap between these two teams. And look at how far back Sentinels are playing early. They're expecting some nonsense because Hunter's Fury is active. Cloud doesn't give it to him, though. Not in that way. Zen will be allowed to work the map here, but is it just them being given more rope? Market probably the loosest held part of the map here for GX, along with top mid now that pressure's come in.
And after just an absolute all-star performance from Zekken on that map 1, here on map 2, he has been completely nullified by this GX defensive util. Has really had no opportunities for clean entries.
No ping, though, being set up just yet. Looks like the Sober Dart comes in a little late.
Flickless has maneuvered his way into the site, ready to throw out some util, but Sen are ahead of it.
All right, gets the jump on him there. It's going to be a relay bolt. Narrate just stuck to the ground, transfixed. Watches the sword fall. And there's Hunter's Fury that Sentinels are waiting on. In the last round of the half, Sentinels are unlikely to put much of a scratch on Giant X. Spike is heavily within enemy territory, and John has to stand and face the music.
I mean, look at that setup that they pivot into so quickly. Flickless set up to fault line through main. Off that, the Hunter's Fury gets significant damage through, makes Sen scramble in their positioning. They have this double setup in elbow. What can Sentinels do? Honestly, what can they do?
Sick. Honestly, the protocols have been incredible, and so many different set plays here for GX that have just kept Sentinels off their balance for the entirety of this attack side.
This is GX at their best, without a doubt. It's on this Sunset map, and it's with this playstyle.
Let's now send it over to Lou, who's standing by with GX co-streamers Lembo and Sandra.
Et je suis ravie d'accueillir à mes côtés 2 stars espagnols. À ma droite, Lembo, à ma gauche, Sandra, 2 streamers Giant X. Guys, Lembo, Sandra, what a pleasure to welcome you here in Paris in those beautiful jerseys, supporting Giant X, of course. And we've seen that on map 1 it was a bit tough, so who can you count on the most within the players? You know, when times are a bit difficult, to bring up the vibes in the team.
I think our little Westside, because he's the clutcher of the team.
I think that's pretty solid too. What about you, Lembo?
For me, Flickless is so important in the communication, and his calls are winner.
Du coup, sur qui est-ce qu'on peut compter finalement quand c'est un peu compliqué? Ils ont perdu la map 1. Qui est-ce qui remonte un petit peu l'ambiance dans la team? Et bah, du côté de Lembo, c'est Westside et également Flickless qui sont là. On a le facteur Westside pour les clutches et aussi pour les calls, on a Westside. Donc on va ensuite pouvoir leur poser la deuxième question. I wanted also to ask you, because we know that French and Spanish fans are very passionate, you know. So what do you think about our French audience? How are the vibes so far?
I think Spanish and French people are the most enjoyer of the esports, the more passionate people cheering for the teams. We saw in many events the blue wall, and wow, it's excited to see them.
Really beautiful fan base, right? Donc on voit que les Français et les Espagnols sont tellement passionnés à propos de l'e-sport. Ils adorent ça, ils se déplacent pour les fans, etc. Et donc, qu'est-ce qui t'a impressionné finalement de la French audience? Et tout simplement, ils sont motivés, ils sont là, ils font du bruit, notamment le Blue Wall, les fans, Carmine. And now, let's see if GX can take the win on Sunset.
The energy in here is great. I think something special about coming out to France to cover some Valorant. They have a legendary crowd, so we know that. It's only going to get more lively, I guess, over the next few days. Let's talk this match, though. Coinbase Econ report for you right now. A couple of players we want to highlight. West side here. Remember, the Econ rating, it's a metric, right, that we measure with the amount of damage done as opposed to how much is spent on your loadouts here. So almost 2K down to West side, 88.1, which is really quite high. This guy's been really rock solid, man. He controls that B side of the map.
Destroying Bang so far in this game in particular.
Everyone has been, unfortunately.
Yeah, but he is obviously on the defensive side at his best. But now that we're heading over towards the attack for GX, honestly, it feels a lot like the defense in the way of they play incredibly fast. You know, compared to the average in Europe, they plant the spike 10 seconds faster than all the other teams in stage 2. They send it.
That's a nerd stat.
They have so many crazy fast executes where all of the utility sequences are perfect. All of their timings are hit. They're really incredible on this map.
Yeah, it feels like against GX you have to kind of beat them on an individual basis. And that's been hard to do with all this util slanting engagements in GX's favor. Big stack here of B main set up for Sentinels. That allows the west side to be extracted early, but there's Cloud standing tall. John at least controls any ingress towards that Boba area. And there's Zekin tucked in his corner. This is a pretty conservative approach here for Sentinels, but they are getting torn apart a little. Narrate leaked here by the bolt. At least finds Cloud as he gets around the corner, but he's gone low.
Wow, Flick was able to dodge that out.
Now he got into the sights. Spotted out by Flickless though. German
wat?
unable to win
Oh!
that last engagement. It's a much
Okay,
needed
nu
pistol round here for
komt de
Sentinels.
comeback
It
dan.
looks like nothing more than grim satisfaction on their faces. They're still reeling from that first half.
Yeah, I like their decision to go for such a heavy B fight. GX do like to go for a lot of splits, so they can just isolate a couple of those players in main and then try to refight elsewhere.
Last few bullets there from their aid. Important round for him. Some confidence for the young gun wouldn't hurt.
Second trying to keep the spirits high there. GX, no investment on this round 2. Maybe if Narrate can collect a few kills, Sen could work towards an early nightfall.
GX been pretty proactive here, getting some information about mid, but that Tiles corner's been pinged already, and it'll be Bang to take contact.
Conversely for GX, if they can try to maybe around the world get the orbs, they can get towards that Rolling Thunder early. They've been able to get Flickless the one so far.
Economically, Sentinels never really able to get in the game on the first half. That's evidenced by Zekin leaving it with 4 kills.
Except for when they win the eco on round 2 and then get subsequently ecoed on round 3 and the economy is cooked.
Pretty slow, very default coded look here for GX, of course. Hoping for something to be offered up by Sentinels, who are pretty patient. They're definitely more lean into the B direction. They'll have anchoring presences here, including John once more ready to shut him down from Boba. Prowler from mid.
Ja, wat zeg maar,
GX basically contain buddies, util usage now hitting the paranoia to try and get out of market. John
allebei op B, op market.
Cloud on the side, somehow able to win these very unlikely scenarios, but Ara is contained by Bang. Matches his freak, so to speak, and Cloud at 19. It's caught on the side, Bang knows he's coming and is trained on that corner. Still not enough to get him out of there. Cloud getting some pretty ridiculous 1v1 moments. And that'll be Sentinels convert on the pistol 1.
GX will be super happy with that. They get the spike down, they get a couple kills, and it's Cloud, who's now 1 away from getting a Hunter's Fury. That's easily going to be the first ultimate that'll be used in this game. You'd have to imagine, right? So not too bad for them.
I think this team has drawn criticism from some of the attack side calling from Cloud, and he's maybe sort of less experience being pointed out, but yeah, this is not the start that we're looking for on the attack side anyway. Now we get to see a little bit though of what's cooking, what's under the dome for Cloud.
Steken A, oeh, dat is wel goed.
Fury just a whiff
3,
away.
2, 4, 1. Okay.
Fault line set up if there's going to be some aggression from Sen towards A main. The GX could go for a bit of a refight here. But it's just a safer cross setup for the Sentinels defense at the moment.
This fault line likely set up reactively here or to set Ara up.
And now they can get more aggro with it, especially with that drone getting the information.
Okay. So it's good reactive fault line that comes out there from Flickless just to stop Sen pushing up. They really don't have any deep elbow presence. Look at them pulling back on A entirely.
They're slowing things down, getting into elbow right now.
They don't really have information atop mid Sentinels here, so at some point they're going to have to start looking over their shoulders there at Link. Just giving that part of the map up.
Honestly, feels uncharacteristically slow right now for GX. Hoping that someone from Sen will maybe overextend. That Prowler's going to get the information on Aura in the corner.
I'm looking for decisive calling on this execute from GX. Waiting until, of course, some of that key util cycles back.
Yeah, they get that fault line back up, and now it's go time.
Ara onto the side, runs in and narrate first. It's going to be Bang, no credit with the kill. Bang gets ahead of that dark cover, and now the Paradox comes out late.
Oh, wat was dat, bro? Waarom keek... Oké.
But it couldn't have been more wrong. The red eventually falls, and there it is. Nice little flash through the smoke. Little two-piece from GX now. Assume control of the side.
Westside peeks out, might be able to catch him. Second, timing, gets the opening with the Outlaw.
Relay bomb might make things hard on the side. That's John downed. Westside sharp as attack, folks. And Cloud will hold his ground there on the side.
20 for 8 right now.
Yeah, we've had 15 rounds of play, right? 14 rounds of play.
That is an outrageous stat line. Thought it would be hard to beat Zekins on map 1, but he might just do it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, some interesting classic moments as well. The first couple of rounds kept him in the game.
I love how Westside repositions for those fights there.
Dude, John
gets that kill on Mary, then immediately gets back to play off contact so he can swing Link. Really intelligent stuff from him.
Going from, you know, bottom of the table in kickoff stage 2 to literal world caliber should be studied. GX, it's unreal how they've come alive. And now we're finally getting to see what they're made of in the second map of the series.
John has the trip set up for backside control. We'll see if they try to make their way out at all. Second, I know John does get that catch.
Yeah, Ara in the corner. Still a lot of side control for GX. Now they are deep. They can anchor in the post plant. Grabinho very mindful of a sort of off-timing push out of Boba though.
And Zelsis, he does.
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
Wat?
Mag ik iets zeggen, boys? Ik wou nu net letterlijk deze groep bellen.
Ja, ik was even hoe heet het aan het kijken. Cent versus GX.
Ik was
een serie
aan het kijken.
Ik moet even